Can't get anybody else in with a shoehorn.
I know, right? It's a sea of red and blue.
Michigan, Oregon, Purdue, and Kansas. Those 4 teams are vying tonight in Kansas City for a spot in the Final Four.
Sweet 16 rallies are underway. Let's go back live to the Power and Light District and our buddy, Fox 4's John Holt. Hey, John.
Phil, Dominique, the KU pep rally is underway. And by the way, we're streaming more KC.com, so you can watch and us here on Fox 4 News. About to wrap up here, and then it will be Purdue's turn. They had their pep rally. Speaking of Michigan, getting to the Big Ten tournament for the Wolverines wasn't half the fun. As they recall, Kane was speeding down the runway in Ann Arbor as they were preparing to take off for the Big Ten tournament when it slid off the runway. Close call for the team. They went on to win the Big Ten tournament, and they're a 7 seed here tonight, taking on number 3 seed Oregon. Fox 4 Sean McDowell down amongst the crowd with more on that frightening story that might be motivating this Wolverine team. Sean?
Well, this reporter friend of mine, John, the gentleman we're talking about in this segment, he's happy to be alive. The Michigan Wolverines, as you mentioned, they will square off with Oregon tonight in the opening game of the Midwest Regionals here in Kansas City. It was 15 days ago that the Michigan Wolverines made national headlines for harrowing reasons. The airplane they were using to fly to the Big Ten tournament in Washington, D.C. skidded off a runway the morning of March 8th as that plane was trying to take off out of a small airport near Ann Arbor, Michigan. Reporter Ed KENGERSKI, a longtime friend of yours truly, now works for the University of Michigan as he has for 2 years. He's here in Kansas City covering the Wolverines. KENGERSKI was on board and says he'll never forget that feeling when the pilot slammed on the brakes during takeoff. He says he held on for fear of slamming into the seat in front of him as the plane skidded, and then the crew ordered the 35 people on board to get off. The team was rushed to D.C., and it didn't even have time for its equipment managers to collect its game uniforms. And since then, Michigan has won 5 in a row, including the Big Ten tournament and a berth in the Sweet 16 and some big-time perspective.
The way they really bonded over this is really stunning. And when you talk to the kids, you really get a sense of it, that it did hit them, that this could have been a whole lot worse. And they play for each other, they love each other, and I think it's a little bit of caution to the wind now. Like, this is a basketball game.
Nobody was injured in the accident, thankfully. The FAA has told reporters that the pilot waved off his takeoff due to high winds in the area. Again, thankfully, no injuries. And KENGERSKI told me that, well, since that mishap the morning of March 8th, he's noticed going from one arena to another, John, while covering the University of Michigan, that there's been a subtle groundswell of support. Certainly at the Big Ten tournament in D.C., everybody was very sympathetic and in a roundabout way supportive to Michigan since they survived that mishap and they've gone on to win 5 in a row. Can it carry them to the Final Four? We will begin to see the rest of that story unfold tonight. Sean McDowell, Fox 4 News, working for you live at a rowdy Power and Light District.